If you were to say to me today, DML, do you have the numbers to the upcoming lottery? I'd like to win $1 billion. And I said, I can't do that kind of thing. You'd say, come on, man, you can predict everything. And what you would base your opinion on about my great, being able to see things that others can't is because I have gotten every single last thing spot on correct. Not almost, but in the bullseye. I told you straight out that Barack Obama wanted Donald J. Trump to debate against Joe Biden well in advance of when debates usually take place, because he knew that Donald J. Trump would be sort of like the twist to open the cap that nobody else could open in getting rid of Joe Biden. It was a perfect strategy. Unfortunately, Trump fell right into it. Biden fumbled over himself, and Obama got to lay the carpet out for his pick, who is Kamala Harris, because he knows that Joe Biden is down a slippery slope. He's known it for a long time, and it's hard to control somebody who can't control themselves. And Joe Biden has no control over his faculties whatsoever. Kamala Harris, very easy to control. I told you this would happen. It happened exactly like planned. And it's not like you can't go back and read the Great American Newsletter at greatamericannewsletter.com and see that I've been writing this stuff. It's not that I'm saying it. I'm also writing it. I'm putting it down on paper. It's out there. Then I told you that Barack Obama would not endorse Kamala Harris. He would wait till the final end. He would not endorse her when everybody else did. He'd sit back and wait for all the other endorsements to come through, and then he would come in at the very end and give an endorsement. The reason why I knew this was happening was for twofold. Number one, Barack Obama wanted to give you a head fake. He wanted to give you reverse psychology. He wanted you to think that he did not want Kamala Harris, that he wasn't the Wizard of D.C., like the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of D.C., pulling all the levers from the back. Right? If he gives you the head fake, I don't know if she can win. I don't know if I'm going to endorse her. Everybody's like, oh, no, Obama wouldn't want this. He won't even endorse her. It is for the simple folk who can't see beyond their own nose. And what happened? Like clockwork. He waited a week, as I suggested he would, and he came out yesterday and he gave a raving endorsement. Him and Michelle getting together and getting all comfy, cozy with their girl of color. And they went all in. Here is the video, the cheap fake video that was scripted by some B-level script writer with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama making it as if they were just doing this spontaneous phone call with the cameras running with Kamala Harris as she's walking through wherever. And here is the patheticness that is going to make your stomach turn. Play the video, Ryan.
Kamala.
Hello. Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi, you're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Barack, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Okay. So I have told you up to this point how it's going to happen, why it's going to happen, and through whom. Now, the New York Times has been Barack Obama's favorite point of propaganda. The New York Times is the greatest on the puppet string that Obama has. They have been running everything before it happens. They told you about Biden needed to step down through the editorial board. They told you that George Clooney wanted him to step down. Everybody, but not Barack Obama somehow. Yeah, okay. Now they're saying exactly what I told you what else would happen. It wouldn't take a week for Kamala Harris to become the queen. And the queen now is within 1 point on the New York Times Siena poll, 1 point within Trump. You're talking about a woman who can't keep her own staff, a woman who is just riddled with gaffes, just like Biden, a woman that nobody on the left, nobody in the lefty media ever wanted to even refer to. Do you ever remember anybody asking, where's Kamala? Nobody. They wanted her far, far, far away. They were tucking her away in a box so this way she couldn't make things worse for an already bad administration. But all of a sudden now, she's coming out as the queen. She's the one who can change everything. She's fighting for women. She's fighting for the gays. She's going to fight, 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 fight. No, that's Trump. That's Trump. But what the New York Times does is it leads the brigade. It leads the narrative. It sets the tone for everybody else in the mainstream media and everybody else in Washington, D.C. It makes the bullet points. It makes the sound points. It makes it so this way the script is written and you follow the script, or else you're going to have King Obama on your ass. So now what do we get? We get today in the New York Times telling you that not only is this race squeaky tight, but that Kamala Harris is a much better person to be out on the stage and out on the platform and sharing everything that you need to know about how America is going to be great again under the Harris administration. It's amazing how this goes. So let me tell you what you're going to see. I'm going to, once again, I can't give you the lotto numbers because I don't know them. I'm only clairvoyant when it comes to Barack Obama, politics, and what the path is that a Democrat will take each and every time, and that is the most dishonest path there is. Now, I'm going to surprise you with something that you may find, what? Yeah. Everybody talks about the market. What's the market? Well, right now, it's crazy. Inflation, supply and demand, and gas prices. It's crazy. The market determines what the price is. And no, it doesn't. There's no such thing as the market. There's no such thing as the market. You have been lied to your entire life. The market doesn't dictate anything. The government dictates everything and anything that is ever around your sphere of life. So let me tell you what you're going to see, hands down, over the next couple of months. I would bet my entire everything on it. Number one, your gas prices are going to go down, 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 down. Amazing how that happens. Right between August and November, you're going to be paying very little for gas. And Kamala Harris is going to get on CBS and NBC and ABC and talk about how it is that this administration is doing all the right things to make sure that taking away the burden of the unburden of what was and what has and all the other different nonsense she says. But you're going to pay so little in gas compared to what you've been paying now and what you've been paying over the last couple of years, because they're going to make it so this way you have more money in your pocket. And you say, how are we lowering the gas prices now? Are we doing more drilling? No, just magically that's going to wind up happening. Number two, you're going to see the Fed is going to come out right around September and say, wow, inflation is dropping a lot faster than we thought it was going to. Therefore, we're going to lower interest rates. Woohoo! So suddenly the cost of your mortgage, the cost of your credit card, the cost of your car payment, everything around you in terms of the interest rates are going to drop. You're going to have more money in your pocket. Oh, thank goodness that's happening. And when that winds up happening, people, investors, don't put their money into safe havens, sort of like treasuries or CDs. Instead, they move it over to the stock market, and that automatically makes the stock market go up. So you're going to see this unbelievable stock rally that's going to come in September and October. That's why you're watching right now the market's sort of struggling. Don't worry, it's coming back in September, October. Buy stuff now. That's what I tell my wife. We got to buy stuff now, because what's going to happen is it's all going to ramp up. When the inflation and interest rates go down, the stock market goes up. And what does that mean? That means your 401k, amazingly, suddenly, just in September, right before the November election, is going to look a lot better, maybe 10%, 15%, maybe for some of you, 20% better than what it was just a few months ago. And then, of course, the big one's going to happen. Somehow, some way, we'll have grown more eggs. We have produced more orange juice. Somehow we're going to have chickens, having more chickens. And how did this all happen? But it's okay, because that whole supply and demand problem that we've been having for so long seems to be just falling off the cliff. We've got more chicken than we know what to do with. And suddenly now the prices are going to come down for chicken and come down for eggs and come down for milk and come down for all the things that you need to consume every single day in order to have yourself a normal, happy life. It is suddenly going to wind up happening in 3 months. Every single market factor is going to align perfectly with Kamala Harris. Not because the market wants it that way, because that's what the government did to manipulate every single last number there is. And if you don't believe me, let's take a look at something else that happened. And then I'm going to turn it over to Dennis, and he'll give you the details on this. Every single day in the United States of America, without pause, it's like they don't take off for Christmas, they don't take off for New Year's, and they certainly don't take off for the 4th of July. The cartels every single day run this country. They run people into it illegally. They run drugs throughout it illegally. They poison our kids. They poison our neighbors with fentanyl. They get them stoned out of their brain on heroin. They lower the price on all this stuff to get all the Americans freaking locked in and loaded on drugs. We have over 100,000 people dying every year of poisoning and overdoses. We have 20 million people coming into this country over the last 3.5 years, and nothing ever on a single day was ever done to stop the drugs or the people flowing into this country and destroying everything. Now, even though the media is going to want to say it differently, and of course Kamala Harris is going to try to sell it differently, she was anointed the border czar from Joe Biden. We played you the clip yet, or no, we didn't play the clip yesterday. We can play it if you need to hear it today, or you could just trust me in saying everybody in the world with an honesty, just a little bit of honesty in their heart, will tell you that she was the border czar. She did nothing. She was given a job that was pretty tough to do. And what did she do? She kicked the ball. She says, I don't want anything I don't even want to touch the border. In fact, I'm not even going to go down there. How does a border czar not go to the border? If I were to say to you, hey, listen, you are in charge of the security of your garage. You have nothing else to worry about. Just make sure that you have your garage completely secure. Where do you think the first places you're going to go after the conversation's done? You're going to go take a look at the garage. You're going to see what it's in, what kind of condition it's in. She never even went. Oh, but suddenly, despite the fact that the cartels are allowed to do anything they want to do, we suddenly, yesterday, out of nowhere, arrested 2 of the most powerful cartel members in all of Mexico. Isn't that amazing how that happened? What was the sudden change of heart? What was the sudden, we've got to go get these guys? We've been on the run, been trying to get them all this time, and thank God we finally got them yesterday. You know what that is, my friends? That is a way of which you turn around and change the narrative. You suddenly have a political will to go after the scumbags that are destroying our lives, destroying our country, making it so this way we are freaking riddled with drugs and riddled with illegals. They get $5,000 per head for every illegal that comes through. They make a gazillion dollars every single day, these drug cartels. And all of a sudden, at the same time, when the Republicans and the conservatives like me are trying to focus in on, hey, look at Kamala Harris at the border. Look at Kamala Harris. She's done nothing. She's turned a blind eye the whole time. Suddenly, you're going to see cartel members be arrested. Folks, I am giving you the blueprint. They are doing everything they possibly can to ensure that Kamala Harris is going to put a little bit of reasonable doubt in every single person's mind across this country that, you know what? She's not as bad as they said they were. She's really good. And that's why she squeaked out that squeaky little victory over Trump on November 5th. That's it. It's been always by plan. It's always by design. Joe Biden couldn't pull this off because we saw how dumb he was, how, we saw all of that. And there was no way that you were going to look in November 6th and say, yeah, I can see how he pulled out a squeaky win. But now, with everything that you're seeing here that I just laid out, be ready for President Kamala Harris. So what has to happen is that the Republicans need to get their head out of their asses, stop sitting there and going on Fox News and touting how great things are, start getting out there, put out every single dollar you have to show who Kamala Harris is and what she's been in favor of. She is a train wreck, a disaster. She's more radical than Obama. She is something that George Soros would want. In fact, Kamala Harris is George Soros's Christmas present for the next 4 years. Trust me when I tell you, every single last force is going to be doing everything they possibly can to ensure that Harris, although she does not have a snowball's chance in hell on a fair election, is somehow, some way going to win on November 5. So I'm sending out a message to the Trump campaign, to Donald J. Trump, to J.D. Vance, and every single person who is trying to make it so this way we can truly get the right man in place and make America great again. You are going to be cheated on again like you were 4 years ago if you do not wake up and start making massive, strong moves to deflect and to fight fire with fire when it comes to what the Democrats are doing. And that is that.